Yeah. So Starling Finance is our what, can you all hear me?
Yeah, everything's fine, mate. So it was just my fault. End up refreshing my screen by accident, but it's all right.
Okay, just want to make sure everybody can hear me. Yes. I guess everybody can hear me. Hello?
Yeah, I think someone just typed in yeah on the chat, so normally
Oh,
it should
all
be
right.
good.
Yeah, let me just keep going on here. So we are originally just building okay, sorry, just all right, let's get back. Oh, so we are originally supposed to build a project like Fire or on AVAX, if anyone remember the note season. And then we saw the whole market crash, and Horde was born at that time. And you can still see they are providing passive income DeFi protocol where the price range have been stable for the past 5 or 6 months. And Horde have been a tremendous success that their price still have been maintained until now, which has already been over 6 months. And seeing their success, we decided to build our Starlink, which is a improve or a different model of passive income DeFi protocol where we are earning 1.25% per day for 200 days, which is a total of 250%. And as you can see, Horde is paying out about 1% a day for 300 days. So our paying out our yield is a little bit different than Horde, and we are also providing a cheaper and a more accessible entrance for our node, which is only about $250 per node, which is called satellite in our project. And in Starling Finance, we are having our own liquidity management. Our own contract is fresh, building by me myself. So everything is unique. Everything is built from scratch on my own time. Nothing is copy or getting a from anywhere else. So I take pride in my work, and we've been testing everything and all the price range, the price stabilizer have been tested on testnet, making sure everything was smooth for the past month. And so the teams have been working really hard. And yeah, our pre-sale is actually going on right now. The private sale already been sold out, and we are giving out wireless and a lot of like contests and giveaways going on our Discord and on our Twitter right now. So if y'all want to check us out, we have our own Discord and maybe our Twitter up in the chat somewhere as pin, or maybe in the AMA stage, or is it like a voice chat, I guess. And yeah, let me know if you have any question, and I think we are here to answer any question you got.
Well, I've got a bunch of questions for you guys, but you've ended up answering like probably about 4 or 5 questions in one there. But yeah, I'm going to keep going through the questions I got for you guys, and afterwards, like if any of the other people in the AMA they've got any questions, then yeah, sure they can ask you some more. So within your team itself, obviously there's not just you. So who are the rest of the team? What roles are they taking within the project? And do you guys like know each other? Like, have you known each other for a long time? Do you guys know each other personally, or is it just a relationship through crypto? And do you guys have any previous experience on different projects?
Yeah. So our team consists of about I would say 7 or 8 people. So me myself is Deck. I'm like main developer, We have RM. I think the one who's cannot be who is here, but I don't think he's can attend our voice chat. He's our communication and doing web design. He's doing all the connection, and he also our Twitter space guy basically. And we have Limitless, which is our coordinate dev. He's working with like marketing, community, managing NFT, um, and doing like taking part of their gleams giveaway and all of those. That's consists of community engagement. And then we have Delano, who's also like um, project a collab project manager with a lot of DeFi connects with different other project and any NFT and any DeFi protocol out there. And I remember we have like a few more guys who taking care of different aspect of the project, like Facebook, Discord, our own audit designer, and I probably forgetting like a couple people or two. So then, yeah, if I forget any of you guys, just let me know. Our team is about like about almost like 7 or 10, 7 to like 8 people, and we mostly know each other since the previous project, which is the Wonderland Wizard, Diamond DAO, and Founding Fathers. And Diamond DAO is one of their AVAX project that been which is a baseline for Starlink. Is an art NFT project, and we saw the first tier of the project. And after the bear market came, we decided to pivot a little bit into launching a DeFi protocol with our baseline community, and that's how Starlink was founded.
Yeah, okay, man. So, yeah, it seems like as I say, you've got like a core team, then you've also got people that are kind of like helping out with certain aspects of the project, but aren't exactly the core team, right? Which is what you're trying to get across.
Yes,
So
that's correct.
So as you were saying, the inspiration for your project came from a couple of previous projects, specifically Fire and Horde. Fire started out great, but eventually lost its stability and ended up crashing in value. Horde is a project that's been going on. Like, this is the project, if you guys can see my screen right now, it's the project I've got up on CoinMarketCap. And you can see it launched in late March and has actually remained stable. Because you see the price here, it went up to a maximum of 112 and a minimum of around 100. It's still at 100 right now, and this has been going on for 6 months. So you can look at this project and say it's been a success, right? So as you was just saying before, you said you guys have built this project from scratch. Well, you said you built your smart contracts from scratch. What then, if it's a contract that's been written from scratch, what's different between your project and Horde?
Yes. So yes. Did you finish with your question, I guess, or was this?
Yeah, so just basically, considering you said you've written a brand new contract from scratch, what would then be the differences between your project and Horde? And if Horde's such a success, why would you want to change anything with their idea?
So again, if you look at some numbers, we are making 1.25% per day, 200 days, compared to Horde, which is 1% per day for 300 days. So we make a larger daily reward, 1.25% compared to 1%. Our satellite is $250 versus Horde, which is $1,000. So we provide a cheaper and more accessible entry for people, and which is also result in a faster ROI for investor. And also, since our code is audited twice and basically doesn't contain any fork or any copy from any different like hard contracts out there, we have our own liquidity manager that we can eventually list it out for any other protocol to use, and that can be our main revenue income stream. And the one that sets us apart was actually our team connection with uh, a lot of big name in restaurant, real estate, and hospitality, and especially in sushi restaurant where we have our core team member immense experience and like a very big connection in the sushi restaurant industry, and we have a lot of connection to the founders of PF chain, uh, restaurant chains, and we can actually get our treasury funded into off-chain, like beside on-chain investment. We also can put our treasury fund into off-chain investment like those sushi restaurants, and they can actually paying out some real revenue with real you that provide a sustainable income with a tangible and a physical access like a sushi restaurant, which can be even more than one or two or three eventually how we want to scale it, and that make a difference. That actually make a difference of us compared to Horde, where Horde is having their own trading balls. They don't have an off-chain investment like us. So eventually we always want to focus on um, the security and the safety and the assurance for investor of knowing where their investment is going into, and by having those off-chain investment, we also want to do an LLC where everything can be shown as a company, and that everybody can see that we are actually a profitable like an act like a DeFi protocol with an actual um, profitable investment rather than just you know blowing up the treasury fund investing in some Degen or any DeFi protocol risky stuff out there. And um, that actually set us different from Horde or any other competitor in terms of like running and making this whole protocol sustainable.
Yeah, okay, man. It's a good answer. So, basically, I want to try and put this product in layman's terms for maybe some of the guys who are listening in who haven't been in crypto so long. So, basically, you guys are a passive income project, right? Obviously, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you can see here I've put the page of how it works. So, what basically happens is you're going to invest in their native token, and with their native token, you're then going to buy tokens, and then what happens with these is that over a period of 200 days they're going to earn 250% yield. So say for example you invested $1,000 on day one, by day 200 you would have $2,500 worth of that token, bearing in mind that the native token stays stable and doesn't end up like depegging and falling in value, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. And so my question to that is from somebody who I was never invested in Horde, but as we were saying before, you guys took inspiration from Fire and Horde. We've seen Horde has been a massive success for the last 6 months, right? But Fire did lose its stability because of the market crash. What mechanisms do you guys have in place to assure that the price of your native token will stay stable and will not drop in value, even if we could have maybe another market crash happening maybe in the next few months?
Yeah. So the way how our liquidity manager work is basically you have a range where you have an upper range and like a lower range. So let's say our price range is $24 to $26, right? Whenever the price get below $24, our price stabilizer will try to push it back toward the $25, as close to $25 as possible. And then when there is enough buying pressure coming down from the $24, $25 going above the $26, the price stabilizer will actually take the cut from anything above the $26 and put it back into the contract reserve, and make sure the price doesn't go above the $26, suppressing the price back down to 25. And that's when our price stabilizer, or you can call it LM, the liquidity manager, the LM part go into play. They are shuffling between sell and buy and dealing the price in a sophisticated and a timely manner where price can be used to um, maintain in a range even between buyer and seller consistently, trying to gorge or maybe like selling their investment or any of their yields. And also we will constantly having our treasury funds feeding the contract from our off-chain investment. So our contract, the LM, the liquidity manager fund, will always have enough reserve to keep those um, have enough reserve to keep those going and going for such a long time. And that's why we are so confident, because our treasury will can only grow stronger and stronger, because the off-chain investment will produce real yield and real ROI coming out from the off-chain, like a sushi restaurant investment. And that's why everybody know how we can keep the price stable.
Yeah, okay, man. So yeah, I have invested in some similar projects, and I do understand how these works. And yeah, it's really powerful when a project doesn't have to rely just on simple buy pressure in the project, that they can actually, still progress just by the achievement of the treasury and how that can evolve. So what I wanted to touch on next was, in your roadmap and your white paper, you also talk about eventually having a play to earn, an NFT aspect to your project. I just wanted to explain that in a little bit more detail, and then tell us, when that's going to be available.
So we have everything on the roadmap for the NFT and play to earn, which is by the end of Q3. And I'm pretty sure this is actually the time for the end of Q3, which is in October, I guess, or like September. So me and the team actually have been working really hard behind the scene for their play to earn game, using staking NFT, like with a simulation to earn model, where players or like satellite holder can compete with against each other, boosting their yield, um, or make or kind of in a sense stealing each other yields. If you want to play the game, of course you don't have to play the game, but there is some model in some math and some model involved in the simulation to earn game with our NFT, where you can boost your yield a little bit even further than the 1.25% per day. And I don't want to overpromise and kind of under deliver. We have our game actually about 80% done already, and as soon as we launch, we will see how the project is doing after the first I would say about after the first month or so after launch. And on the second month we'll start pushing out update and pushing out the new treasury investment and everything. And then at that time, on the second month after launch, we'll have our NFT simulation to earn game for boosted yield be ready and release at that time. So sometime around October, end of October, we'll have the full game ready with all the workflow, all the game, and everything ready by end of October and early November. And the game will be just amazing. You can play the game in a different way. You can play it in a passive, like a passive way, where you can boost your NFT a little bit, like a little bit further than 1.25%. Or you can even like go out of the way and play it like much like harder, I guess, and you can boost your yield like much better, or even can get your ROI back in a very very like much faster way, depend on how you want to reinvest, or how you want to compile, or how you want to. Everybody investment strategy is different, right? It's a bear market time. You gotta be you gotta stay safe. You gotta stay defensive with your investment. We understand that. That's why we will provide different risks reverse strategy, where everyone with different risk profile can play the game how they want, with a little bit of calculation and stuff in mind, and ensure we will ensure the longevity and sustainability of the project with the NFT game tokenomic and model too. And everybody will be very surprised at what have we been prepared for this whole NFT game. And then eventually for the NFT game, we will have our own marketplace where you can actually redeem the price or the token for a physical, tangible reward. Like we talking about it, iPad, any electronic stuff where you can redeem your token for an actual price rather than just selling the token itself, which is can help reducing the sell pressure even further. And at that time you also have to consider that our LM is working as well. We also have profit money coming into the protocol too from our different revenue income stream.
Yeah, okay, man. I do like the idea. I do like how how the protocol doesn't rely on the play to earn aspect in order to succeed, but it's kind of a way for people to earn a little bit extra yield if they want to, but it's not sort of a necessity. I do kind of like that idea. I'm just looking on the right, a couple of people's questions that they were asking kind of leads well into what I wanted to move on to next. The first question was how will you sustain the payout, but we did talk about that before, about the stability of the native token and how that's achieved through the treasury investments and stuff like that. Next question was then, is the team docs to each other? On your service links, you guys have already done a contract audit and a KYC, and you can see both of these on Coinscope. 1 second, you guys can see my screen, right? These guys have done an audit with Coinscope and also done a KYC. On the audit, there was a couple of critical findings about being able to stop transactions and untrusted source. Are you going to be doing any changes with your smart contracts in order to change those, or if they are necessary for the protocol in order to function properly? Can you explain a little bit more why they are needed?
Yeah, so we are actually very open to any feedback, right, or any change to the contract. That's what the audit for. You cannot just expect the audit to come out and 100% anything. That's what we decided to audit our contract, and we actually audit them twice just to make sure that everything was good. And just want to address the two main critical point where they say one is the untrusted source, which is our liquidity manager. And since I built the LM myself, of course, the whole code and the contract is not public anywhere else. So that's why the audit came out as untrusted source. It's just so unique and it's just built from scratch by myself. You cannot find the LM source anywhere else. So it's actually not I guess a critical condition, since you cannot find my code elsewhere on BSC scan. Doesn't mean it's a scam or anything. So that's why it's one critical point that I want to address it. And the second one is pause all contract and stuff, or pause all selling beside the owner wallet. That one is basically just a simple pausing contracts where we need to, let's say we need to investigate doing something, or we need to relaunch, or we need to, change something for the whole protocol and stuff. And we are open to change it. We are actually very open to just, take off those critical one, and we can, let everybody can trade again and stuff. And we don't plan to, the thing is, we don't, the blacklist function, we don't plan to, do any harm or try to, rug pull or any scam or anything like that. But rather, we look at it as a way to defensively protect the protocol. Let's just say thing doesn't go right, we can at least pause the buying and the selling, relaunching, airdropping, doing anything that doesn't, with any malicious intent. But then we are open to just, take off that function. Everybody can just don't have to worry about that. And that's why I'm saying we are open to the community. And at the end of the day, the success of the protocol is from the community itself. So in order to assure the safety and the, I guess, the feeling of the investor before, going with our protocol, we can definitely take out the blacklist function on that matter. But end of the day, just we look at it like the blacklist function is just for a safety button, for just in case the worst thing happen, where we can actually control and just stop the whole project at once and then relaunching or airdropping or anything. But yeah, we open to just take it off, just to make the investor feel better or like safer about the investment.
Okay, man, thanks for clearing that up. I just want to go back to the roadmap now again. On the Q4 here of the roadmap of later this year, you guys have got some interest. Oh, 1 second, I'm not sure I have my screen sharing. Here in Q4 later this year, you guys have got something interesting coming up. Do you want to explain what this means here in the Q4 of this year?
So yeah, I already told you that our team actually have a very heavy connection with the sushi restaurant industry and real estate. And so by Q4, if everything turned out right, we are planning to, on either October or November, acquire several sushi business and being a part of it, and having all of those treasury investment off chain. And at that time, investor can, I think I already talked about, but the time, we all know the treasury was used by protocol in order to grow it up, and and make sure the reward can be paid out for all the holder, right? That's the main DeFi that's the main goal for any DeFi protocol out there. They want to grow their treasury. With a bigger treasury, you have money to, I guess, play out with the team member, get a bigger team, scale out the protocol, scale out the project, doing more investment. And since we specialize, we had like a very big connection and network in those sushi restaurants. Acquiring those business will ensure we have a profitable and constant revenue income stream going into the treasury and growing the treasury on a daily, monthly, and on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. And then investor can actually know where the money going to. They know what the protocol treasury been using for, rather than a lot of DeFi project out there doesn't really being transparent about what their investment are from the treasury. And also a lot of treasury investment were just being put into another different DeFi, which is adding another layer of risk into the treasury fund. And as you can see, we are very transparent. If we acquire any restaurant, we'll let our investor know. The investor know that end of the day, whatever happened, the treasury still have those physical restaurant. As we decide to have LLC, everything will be on paper, everything will be transparent. They know what the treasury is doing. All the report, monthly report, cash flow, balance sheet coming from the restaurant. We will have them all the number being posted up, and then at that time, um, by having the transparency, by having the off-chain investment, an actual, already proven to be successful restaurant business, at that time we can just very confident at having a chance to ensure the sustainability of the project, ensure the longevity, the runway of the whole thing, being able to pay out everybody, keeping the price stable, bootstrapping more liquidity from more investor, growing it to a big enough scale where it can acquire 10, 20 different restaurants, paying out like 10, 20, 30, 40K per month for each restaurant, something like that. And at that time, you can see the money really adds up, and having those money constantly coming in, opto restaurant, you don't have to worry like of the new money buyer paying the old money one, and you can very confident staying with us, reinvesting, compounding the investment, because we are here for years to come with the restaurant. And even worst case to come, let's just say things didn't go out right or something happened, bear market even hit harder. End of the day, we can still liquidate our acquisition of the restaurant and paying back the investor. At the end of the day, we are an LLC. Everything is up there on paper, and that just I just want to emphasize the fact that all of those coming into play is such a key difference of us compared to just say horde or any passive income or any you protocol out there. That really set us apart.
Yeah, so like you said, transparency is key, right? So as well as like the off-chain stuff, you guys will be doing a monthly report, and will you also be sharing the contract address of your treasury so people can track it on something like Tin Network or Dbank or something like that? And also, I think you've already pretty much answered this question, where you've talked a lot about what you've got planned in the next couple of quarters. But is there anything else about the post-launch marketing that you want to tell us about?
So for post-launch, we have the NFT game, we have the play to earn game, and the NFT staking boosted you. We have the price marketplace where you can redeem for real price instead of selling the token. You have sushi restaurant acquisition, investing in off-chain business. We also will invest in several on-chain token too, as we believe bear market is provide us a chance to investing into into big projects in a very very cheap price. Like we will also look into like investing in like some mid cap or high cap token, and yeah, I mean a lot of things we've been building up in the pipeline. We've been doing this we've been building this project for the past three months throughout the summer, and in order to make sure the whole thing and everything was smooth, and make sure we have all the connection and network in order to make it happen. And yeah, like I guess it's just wrap up all my point in here that we are just very ready for the upcoming last quarter to come, where we can actually capitalize on all those opportunities, bootstrap enough liquidity going forward, and just make sure we have a sustainable DeFi protocol runway so that everybody can gain off of it.
Okay, man, cool. So, last thing from me before we go on and take some questions from people. I brought up the pre-sale page again. I know you've already gone over it at the start, but I think it would be good to go over it a second time just so everybody's familiar with exactly how your pre-sale is working. You said it's going to be, well, you said it's happening currently on your own decentralized app, right? And then maybe if you want to go over these details in a little, if you want to go over the details on the screen in a little bit more detail, so everyone can understand exactly how the pre-sale works.
So we actually have a few different phases, and our phase 1 is actually already sold out. We are on the phase 2 of the public sale right now, and we are giving wireless for pre-sale right now. You can take a look at those. The price for the current phase is $12.5 for a token, and basically you are paying a 50% off to get your node, which is $250 on launch, but you only have to pay $125 for on pre-sale. And on pre-sale, you are buying a V token, so like a virtual token, so that you cannot dump an actual Starlink token on launch, but you can only use the pre-sale, the virtual Starlink, in order to redeem for a satellite, so that everybody from the pre-sale can feel assured that you're not gonna get dumped on, because nobody can dump the virtual Starlink token, because there's no liquidity coming out. But you can only redeem the virtual Starlink 1-to-1 for 10-to-1 for a satellite. So 10 virtual Starlink token, 10 VSLS can be redeemed for one satellite. And for pre-sale, it's $12.5 for VSLS, granting you basically a 50% off compared to launch price. And we are on phase 2 right now with the wireless pre-sale, and eventually we will have a phase 3. And after phase 3 is done, we will launch.
Okay, man, thanks for explaining it. So we're going to move on to the question. So if any of you guys have got some questions, if you go into the right-hand side, you should be able to type in the general chat, and you can ask your own questions on there. If you've got your own microphone, or you've got your own phone on you, whatever, and you want to unmute yourself and ask a question, also feel free to do that. We have got a couple of questions on the right, so we'll start with those. Vas was asking about... restaurants usually don't bring in a sizable profit unless they are high-end. Are you acting as a landlord and collecting rent from them, or investing directly? That was his first question.
Is that on the chat somewhere? I can read it?
Yeah, so if you just go onto you can stay on this page, but on the right-hand side, you should be able to open up the chat to this discussion. I'm not sure if you can see it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are actually, whenever we are investing in restaurant, we are investing in them directly. And the restaurant is, since our team actually have like a very close connection to it, we are talking about like a very high-end restaurant with like a top end of their ROI. And that only can happen because we can raise enough money going into this. And the connection has been, we've been knowing this connection for a really long time, and that the business has already proven to be very successful and very profitable. And the chain and the sushi restaurant, it actually appears to be either high-end or like medium to high-end. So like at the very, not like a top TP one, but I would say in like a top 3% of the sushi restaurant, that can actually bring in like a huge amount of profit beside on just, getting sale and stuff. They selling alcohol, they're doing like different variety of sale model, and that investing in those net us not only a share of the restaurant, but only a big part of the revenue coming out from the monthly. That will be being able to pay out the payout for all the investor. And also you gotta know that our node doesn't last forever. Each satellite only lasts for 200 days, whereas a restaurant can pay us out, days in, days out, 7 days a week, 365 days a week. So yeah.
Yeah, okay, man. So we'll move on to the next question. He was asking, why did you guys choose CoinScope for your KYC and audit?
I mean, we just have a connection with the CoinScope, and they are reputable and I guess just a pretty well-known KYC and auditor that currently just making such a I guess a significant amount of KYC out there in the space right now. So that's why we decided to go with CoinScope as our KYC and audit.
Okay, man, cool. We've got some questions coming in from Paul. Is your plan to invest in multiple restaurants or just one? Or maybe that means one chain, I'm not too sure. I guess you can go straight on to the next question after that as well. Are there any other revenue streams that you are looking to add to the protocol so that you can extend the runaway?
Yeah, so I can read the question right now. Okay, so we are actually trying to invest in several different restaurants. Again, I already told you is the restaurant connection and the network we have is huge. It's already proven to be so successful in that the more money, the more liquidity you pour into those, the more money and the more revenue stream you can get from the restaurant. We can just go out there right now and can throw as much money as we can and still we still can expect a very good amount of APY per year ROI coming out from the restaurant. So it's not limited to just one, but I would say a lot of different sushi restaurants out there that we can get our reach on and capitalize on those. And let's see. Okay, different revenue stream. So again, we are also looking into investing in trading bot. I have connection with a few trading bot guys who can promise us a 15-20% yield monthly, and also different strategy and protocol with a delta hedge neutral a delta neutral strategy where you can make a small but very passive and very sustainable yield per year that we also decide to look at. So the way how we want to invest the treasury is want to be something very sustainable and very safe, so that the treasury can only grow bigger in the long run rather than just degening in some risky access out there. Of course, crypto is risky. I'm not saying we're not in a very risky space, especially at the bear market right now. But end of the day, you gotta make sure we can make the runways long enough and sustainable enough with enough liquidity where we can just pay out all the investor in a very sustainable way.
Awesome. Paul's got another couple of questions there. These ones are related to security. He wants to know if you guys will consider KYC and audits from more reputable organizations such as the House of Obsidian or Certic, and will the team plan to dox at all, like any of the team?
So yeah, we as a team we already doxed to each other ourselves. So there wouldn't be, and also our team is a very strong and very bonding and very tight connection. So I'm pretty sure we can after we dox to ourselves, if the project take off and everything, we can definitely dox to the whole public. And since we are planning to do an LLC too, so we may as well just it won't take the whole thing's more serious and in a more professional manner. We eventually have to dox ourselves, right? Because open a company and LLC and to acquire all the restaurant is not something you can just go unaccounted for. You actually have to like present yourself with under someone name, someone gonna be financially responsible and like formally responsible for any of those investment or any like of those signatures, signing any deal, contract, acquiring any real life business. It will make you will need to be physically be there or like be doxed to anyone. So I don't see why doxing is our problem. You can definitely dox if everything just in a big picture everything go into play. Is doxing is not our problem at all. And yeah, I mean the KYC and audit from a more reputable organization, and I mean paying more at this stage right now where we are about like I guess halfway into our pre-sale. We still have one more last phase, and we have to see how much liquidity we can bootstrap and gather together in order to moving forward. Again, the KYC thing, we already plan to dox ourselves again as a company already. So having a different KYC company doesn't really justify it, since we already plan to open an LLC and also trying to dox ourselves. For audit, definitely is further down along the road. Paying for certificates, I know certificate is very expensive, but further down the road, when we have the resource and we have the backing from the community, we try again. We are trying to grow our community in a very organic and a slowly manner, and that we will have such a code community, a strong one, building together a successful DeFi protocol, and at that taking that big step toward the future can ensure us for the professionalism of having much more expensive audit being presented out there. But yeah, everything in the pipeline. I don't want to say again. I wanted to overpromise and under-deliver, right? So we have to see how the number is going to add up, and from there we can talk more into those. But yeah, definitely more detail or a more reputable source of audit is something we consider, but not doing another KYC again, because doxing is already we already internally doxing with each other and also with our influencer too. A lot of influencer already know our face, and eventually open an LLC we have to basically dox ourselves. So that's that.
Yeah, I guess some people, they don't really take into consideration how expensive some of these, quote unquote, more reputable auditing companies are, such as Certic. Like a Certic audit can be anywhere from like $20,000 to up to $50,000. Like ridiculous numbers. And especially for, as you said, like a smaller project who's trying to organically grow. It's something like that just is really, I guess, not feasible at the moment. So yeah, like in terms of that, I completely understand. And sometimes I always find as well that some of these so-called reputable auditing companies tend to do a very mediocre job, and some of these smaller, cheaper auditing companies actually do audits just as good as these more reputable ones, but obviously for much less money. So yeah. So as far as I see here, I can't see any more questions. If anybody has got any more questions, please do type them now, because we are almost at 1 hour, so we're not going to hold everyone too much longer. I do understand that it is Sunday evening and everybody's got stuff to do. I know this was a bit last minute today, but I know these guys have got a busy week coming up. They've got AMAs coming up elsewhere on Monday and during the rest of the week as well. And then I'm on vacation at the end of, in a few days' time. So tonight was really the only time we could get it in. But yeah, so I think everybody's finished with the questions. So and we're going to call it there for tonight. So I just want to thank the guys from over at Starlink. I think they did a great job this evening answering the questions. I hope everyone got all the information that they need. What I will be doing now is I will be getting all the links to their community, the Discord link, website, light paper, all that kind of stuff. And I'll be posting that in our announcements channel. So any of you guys that have been listening to that, I know some people have dropped in for about 10 minutes and left again and stuff like that. So I'll be making sure I drop all the links to their project in the announcements channel on this Discord server. And then you can go and, and check it out for yourself. Or if you can't think of any questions now, but maybe you get a question tomorrow, you can ask one of the guys over there then. And I want to say thank you again to guys at Starlink, and thanks to everybody for taking the time to attend the AMA this evening. And so I'll hand it over to Starlink to say one last thing before we cut things off.
All right, guys. So the last few words, I know I've been rambling on, talking, some rambling rant on Sunday. It's a nice Sunday time, I guess. You'll go out there, enjoy time with your family and your friends. Take your time off a little bit. Crypto can be a little bit, restraining and can be tiring at times. So I would say I would suggest to spend your time with your family and your friend elsewhere rather than indoor. I mean, we are still inside right now, so I'm probably gonna take a walk outside after this AMA. We will have a lot of AMA coming next week. I just want to say, y'all come check us out on Discord. We have been built such a supportive and a very healthy community on Discord, on Twitter. We've been hosting a lot of giveaway. Everybody can win something, get some prize, chit chat a little bit, get some things up and running. A lot of new. We will have a lot of new marketing things going on the upcoming week. Actually, the next week will be a lot of AMA. We will have like AMA back to back for the next 3 or 4 days. So I'm preparing. This one is like preparing myself for the next week, where I'm probably gonna have AMA every week. So you have any other question, join us. Go to Discord, get whitelisted, participated in the giveaway contest. Ask out if you have any question. We'll be here on Discord, or you can even DM us on Twitter. Our team can definitely reply back to you guys. And yeah, you'll have a great Sunday. Enjoy your time, and you'll take care.
Okay, man. So I think we're going to finish things there. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody, and I'll hear from you all soon. See you later.
Thank you.